Millennial parents are the most informed, most intentional, most emotionally intelligent generation of parents in history. And their kids are more anxious than ever. That's not a coincidence, it's a consequence. Because somewhere along the way, parenting became a redemption project, a way to heal your childhood through your child. And that weight, the weight of your unfinished business, is crushing both of you. This isn't burnout, it's something no one wants to name. Here's what happened. Millennials grew up with parents who were emotionally unavailable, dismissive, sometimes abusive, and they swore they'd do it differently. So, they read the books, did the therapy, learned the language, attachment styles, nervous system regulation, inner child work. They became fluent in trauma. And then they had kids. And those kids became the project, the proof, the redemption. If I can just raise them right, it means I've healed. It means the pain meant something. It means I broke the cycle. This sounds beautiful. It sounds like growth. But underneath it is something much darker, a transaction. The unspoken deal is this: I will give you the childhood I never had, and in return, you will be okay. You will be happy. You will prove that I am not my parents. But children can't hold that contract. They don't even know they signed it. All they know is that something about their existence feels very, very heavy. And here's what no one tells you about using your child to heal yourself. It doesn't work, and they feel it. Stay with me here, because this is where it gets uncomfortable. Gentle parenting was supposed to be the answer. No yelling, no punishment, no shame, just boundaries, empathy, and co-regulation. Sounds beautiful, sounds evolved, but watch what it's actually become in practice. A parent exhausted, running on 4 hours of sleep, suppressing every impulse in their body, performing calm while their nervous system is screaming, narrating their emotions like a therapist while dissociating from their actual feelings. I can see you're frustrated. I'm feeling frustrated too. Let's take a breath together. Meanwhile, every cell in their body wants to scream, wants to slam a door, wants to say, "Why can't you just listen to me for once?" But they can't, because that would be reactive. That would be dysregulated. That would be, God forbid, what their parents did. So they perform. They put on the mask. They speak in a measured voice that doesn't match anything happening inside them. And kids aren't stupid. They don't hear your words. They feel your body. They register the tension in your jaw, the tightness in your voice, the resentment you're swallowing. They feel the dissonance between what you're saying and what you're radiating. And what do they learn from this? That emotions are dangerous, that real feelings must be hidden, that the appropriate response to inner chaos is a calm mask and a script. You're not breaking the cycle. You're just building a more sophisticated version of it. Your parents taught you to suppress by ignoring your emotions. You're teaching your kids to suppress by performing through them. Different method, same lesson. What you actually feel isn't welcome here. And it gets worse, because the thing you're most afraid of, you're already doing it. Let's talk about what's actually happening in these homes. Millennial parents are terrified of damaging their children. That fear drives everything, every parenting decision, every interaction, every moment of self-doubt. Am I being too strict, too lenient? Did that moment just become a core memory? Did I just create an attachment wound? This isn't attunement, it's hypervigilance. And hypervigilance is a trauma response. Think about what it's like to be a child in that environment. Your parent is watching you constantly, not with relaxed attention, but with anxious monitoring, scanning for signs of damage, analyzing your every reaction for evidence that they've failed. Kids feel that. They feel themselves being watched, studied, worried about, and they internalize a message. Something must be wrong with me. Something about me is fragile. I am a problem to be solved. The anxiety doesn't stay with you. It transfers, not through yelling, not through harsh words, through the quality of your attention, through the fear behind your eyes when they struggle, through the way you hold your breath when they're upset, as if their emotions are emergencies that must be contained. Children raised by anxious parents become anxious. Not because of what you did wrong, but because anxiety is contagious. It passes through the nervous system, through the space between bodies, through the unspoken. You're so focused on not repeating your parents' obvious mistakes that you're missing the subtle thing you're actually transmitting. But here's the part nobody wants to hear. Because it's not just about parenting style, it's about something you've built your whole identity around. Here's the trap nobody talks about. Millennials didn't just learn about trauma, they made it an identity. Think about it. How many people do you know who can tell you their attachment style, their enneagram, their childhood wounds, their inner child's unmet needs, but can't actually tolerate 5 minutes of genuine discomfort without reaching for a coping mechanism? The language of healing became a way to stay stuck, a way to endlessly analyze instead of actually feel, a way to narrate your pain rather than move through it. I'm triggered right now. That's my anxious attachment. I'm reparenting my inner child. These phrases can be useful, but watch how they're actually used as buffers, as ways to keep experience at arm's length, as explanations that replace the raw, uncomfortable, wordless reality of just being in it. And now this is being passed down. Kids are being raised by parents who pathologize everything, who see every tantrum as a potential core wound, who treat childhood like a minefield where one wrong step creates a future therapy patient. A kid falls and scrapes their knee. A normal response. You're okay, brush it off, let's keep playing. The trauma-informed response. I see you're in pain. Your feelings are valid. Let's process this together. Sometimes a scraped knee is just a scraped knee. Sometimes a tantrum is just a tantrum. Sometimes kids need you to be unfazed to show them that life is survivable without commentary. But when everything is significant, nothing is. When every moment is analyzed for potential damage, childhood becomes a very serious, very heavy thing. These kids aren't learning resilience. They're learning that emotions are events that require management, that difficulty is dangerous, that they are fragile beings who need constant attunement to survive. You wanted to give them what you didn't get, but what you didn't get was lightness. And you're not giving them that either. But here's where it gets interesting, because this isn't really about parenting at all. Strip it all away, the techniques, the books, the gentle parenting scripts, the trauma-informed approaches, and what's actually underneath. A generation that was promised meaning and given productivity. Millennials were told to find their passion, live their purpose, follow their dreams, be the change. They were sold a vision of adulthood that was about self-actualization, about building a life that meant something. And then they were handed gig economies, student debt, algorithmic distraction, and endless content consumption. No stable careers, no communities, no shared story that made sense of it all. The institutions that used to provide meaning, religion, civic life, extended family, neighborhood, all hollowed out, replaced by nothing but the individual and their personal brand. So when millennials had kids, those kids became the meaning, the purpose, the reason. This is the part no one admits. Your child is filling a void that existed before they were born, a void that has nothing to do with them, and that's a weight no child should carry. When your kid is your meaning, their struggles become your failure. Their unhappiness becomes your crisis. Their bad day becomes evidence that you're doing it wrong. Their entire existence becomes a referendum on whether your life has purpose. No wonder you're exhausted. You're not just raising a child, you're using them to answer a question they can't answer. What is all this for? That's not parenting. That's existential outsourcing. There's another layer to this that makes it even harder to escape. Millennial parents are the first generation to raise kids under constant digital surveillance, not by the government, but by each other. Every parenting decision is made with an invisible audience in mind. You're not just packing a lunch, you're wondering if someone would judge this lunch. You're not just handling a tantrum in public, you're performing competence for the other parents watching. And then there's the content. An endless stream of parenting creators showing you how it's done, how to handle the meltdown, how to set the boundary, how to narrate the emotion. Perfect lighting, perfect patience. Perfect children responding perfectly to perfect interventions. You watch this and you feel like a failure because your kid doesn't respond like that, because you don't have that calm, because your house is chaos and you're barely holding it together. But here's what you're not seeing. Those videos are edited. Those moments are staged, not always deliberately, but functionally. You're comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel. And this comparison doesn't just make you feel bad, it makes you perform harder, try more techniques, buy more programs, add more pressure to an already impossible situation. The parents who seem like they have it figured out, many of them are drowning too. They've just learned to drown photogenically. So what the hell do you actually do with all this? I'm not gonna give you a framework, that's just more fuel for the optimization machine. But I'll give you something harder, a question. What if your child isn't a project at all? Not a redemption project, not a meaning project, not a proof of healing project, not a legacy project. What if they're just a person? A separate being who came through you but isn't yours? Someone you're responsible for but not responsible through? This sounds obvious, but feel into it for a moment. Feel how much of your parenting energy is actually about them versus how much is about what they represent for you. The exhaustion you feel, how much of it comes from actual childcare and how much comes from the story you're running? The constant evaluation, the fear of damage, the weight of redemption. What would parenting feel like if you dropped all that? Not dropped your responsibility, not stopped caring, but dropped the project, the agenda, the need for it to turn out a certain way. Most of the suffering isn't in the actual doing, it's in the story about the doing, the fear about the future, the comparison to the imaginary parent you should be. Your kids don't need you to be that imaginary parent. They need you to be here, actually here. Not monitoring, not analyzing, not performing, just present. Here's what nobody's giving you permission to do. Be a mess sometimes. Yell occasionally and repair it afterward. Let them see you frustrated, overwhelmed, at your limit. Let them see you apologize, not in a scripted, therapeutic way, but in a real way. I lost it. I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time too. This isn't damage. This is modeling. You know what kids actually need to see? That emotions are survivable, that adults struggle, that you can rupture and repair, that being overwhelmed doesn't mean you're broken, it means you're human. The most secure children aren't raised by parents who never lose it. They're raised by parents who lose it sometimes and come back, who show that relationship can withstand conflict. That love isn't the absence of difficulty, it's the presence of repair. Your nervous system doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be honest. The pretending is what damages. The performance of having it together when you don't. The fake calm that teaches them to distrust their own perceptions. They'd rather have a real parent who struggles than a fake parent who performs. Millennial parents were set up to fail, not because the economy screwed them, though it did. Not because they lack a village, though they do. Not because gentle parenting is wrong, it's not the method that's the problem. The setup is deeper than that. It's the story you inherited, that perfect parenting could fix what was broken in you, that your children could complete you, that if you just did it right enough, read enough books, stayed calm enough, you'd finally heal, and so would they. That's the trap. That's the weight that's crushing you. And the way out isn't a better technique. It's not another framework or script or approach. It's letting go of the idea that your kid is your project at all. They're not here to heal you. They're not here to give your life meaning. They're not here to prove you broke the cycle. They're here to live their own life. And the greatest gift you can give them isn't a perfect childhood. It's a parent who's not using them for something. The moment you stop needing them to be your redemption, you might actually be able to see them. And they might finally feel permission to just be kids.